Once upon a time in London, two boys were born on the same day. They looked very similar, but one was a prince and the other a pauper. Tom Canty grew up in one of the poorest neighborhoods of London. Tom's father, John Canty, was a beggar and a thief. He told Tom to go begging for money every day, and he hit him when he returned empty handed. Father Andrew was Tom's only friend. He taught Tom morals and how to read and write. He also told Tom many stories. One day, Tom was standing close to the palace gates, and he saw the prince, Edward Tudor, playing on the other side. Tom was surprised. The prince looked just like him. The prince saw Tom as a soldier tried to cast him out. The prince invited the pauper into his palace. "You look just like me," he shouted. Tom was interested in the prince's beautiful life, while Edward was jealous of the pauper's life of freedom. "Why do not we exchange clothes?" the prince suggested. Tom agreed, and soon both of them were in each other's clothes. Suddenly, the prince saw a bruise on Tommy's hand. He ran out to yell at the guard who had hit Tom. Edward forgot that he was dressed as a pauper. The guard took the prince outside the palace gates, thinking that he was the pauper. The crowd outside laughed at Edward when he said that he was the prince. He was hit and he walked around London not knowing where to go. Then Tommy's father found the prince and took him home, thinking he was Tom. Meanwhile, Tom enjoyed his new life as a prince, but in the palace, people found his behavior strange. Soon, word spread that the prince had gone crazy. The king ordered everyone not to speak about the prince's craziness. Edward escaped from John Canty and came to the palace. But the crowd outside did not believe he was the prince. A man named Miles Hendon rescued the prince from the crowd. The king died suddenly, and Tom was trained to become the new king. Meanwhile, Hendon refused to give Edward back to Canty. Instead, he took Edward to his home, where the prince made him a knight. Hendon thought the boy was mad. The next morning, Canty's friends kidnapped Edward and forced him to join a group of vagabonds. Edward discovered many evil laws of the land and promised to change them after becoming the king. Hendon saved Edward from the vagabonds, but they captured the prince again. Edward refused to become a beggar and a thief, saying he was the King of England. Hugo, the leader of the vagabonds, tried to get Edward arrested during a robbery. Hendon rescued Edward and took him to Hendon Hall. Hendon and Edward were told they would be punished. Hendon received Edward's punishment. For him, the two were released and returned to London. At the crowning ceremony, Tom saw his mother, but he pretended not to know her. Later, he was sad about his behavior, but just as Tom was about to be crowned, the real king stepped forward. I am the king, Edward said. Yes, he is the rightful king. Tom supported Edward. After some tests, everyone knew that it was true. Edward was crowned king, and he made Hendon the Earl of Kent. Tom was made the king's ward. King Edward Tudor changed the evil laws of England and ruled wisely.